Natalie Smith. Have you ever been unable to sleep at night because you're stressed out or you're worried about something? Maybe you have a big test coming up or you're having trouble paying your bills. Well, these kinds of situations affect everyone at some point or another. But what if when you feel that anxious, stressed out feeling on a regular basis without a clear trigger for it? Maybe it's even making you sick and have physical symptoms. Well, that could be a sign that you're struggling with your own mental health. Mental illness is a growing problem, and unfortunately, it's just not talked about enough. By not talking about it, it leads to people being untreated and suffering silently. With mental health problems affecting more and more people every day, we should talk openly about these issues and fight to make treatment more accessible for the people who need it, and we can do that by ending the stigma. As someone who personally struggles with anxiety on a regular basis, this subject is very important to me. I have gathered information from various sources, including American Psychiatric Association, Mental Health America, the National Institute of Mental Health, among others, to demonstrate my points. Mental health is a topic that is relevant to everyone, because mental illness can affect anyone. If your mind isn't healthy, then your body will suffer, and you'll see the impact in every area of your life. So to begin, I'm going to discuss exactly how common mental disorders are. Mental illness has become much more prevalent today than it used to be. The National Institute of Mental Health estimated in 2021 that as many as 1 in 5 adults in the United States suffered from some kind of mental illness. That comes to 57.8 million people. And as shocking as that is, what is more shocking is that Mental Health America estimates that more than half of these people are not even receiving treatment. Mental illness can be caused by many things, including a family history, a brain injury, or even just life experiences. With so many factors contributing to mental illness, it's no wonder that they have become so common. So what exactly is a mental illness? According to American Psychiatric Association, mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, behavior, or any combination of these. These illnesses can affect everything about a person, including how you think about yourself, how you form relationships, and how you're able to contribute to society. By understanding how influential mental health is, we can see why it's so important to seek treatment. So why don't people? Well, one major reason is the stigma. A stigma is a negative feeling or misunderstanding about a subject. People don't want to admit when there's a problem. Some people have a hard time getting past feeling inadequate or like they're weak or like something might be wrong with them. So imagine someone you love is struggling with their mental health. You can't help them because they don't want to talk about it, but they're withdrawn and they're isolating themselves from their friends and family. So there are millions of people in our country like this right now. And maybe you personally don't know what these feelings and experiences are like, and you should consider yourself lucky. Because mental health problems can happen to anyone at any time. And just because you haven't experienced it yet doesn't mean that you won't ever. Mental health needs to be taken very seriously, and luckily there are things we can do to help the people who are struggling. Since it is the stigma and false beliefs that keep people from receiving the treatment they need, we need to break that stigma. And we can help break the stigma by talking openly about mental health issues, by educating ourselves and others, and by being mindful of our language. So step 1 is, if you have dealt with a mental health issue, be open and consider sharing your story with others. By speaking of our own experiences, you can inspire other people to do the same thing. And creating open communication can give a sense of understanding and provide hope to people who need it. And most importantly, you help remind people that they are not alone. The second thing I want to address in breaking the stigma is education. I believe everyone here can agree that education is vitally important. So educating ourselves about mental health is extremely necessary. In the article, Help Stop the Stigma by University of Utah Health, it says that we need to make sure to seek out reputable sources about treatment options, symptoms, and mental health conditions, because mental health problems need to be seen equal to physical medical problems. By sharing factual information, negative beliefs can be changed. The third thing I want to address is how we can be more mindful of our language. Remember that a mental illness does not define a person. Choosing our words carefully can make a big difference. Even avoiding just negative words can be a big help. And although not everyone agrees on these specific terms, the National Library of Medicine gives these examples. That if someone, instead of saying someone is psychotic, say someone with psychosis. Or instead of saying someone is schizophrenic, say someone with schizophrenia. By using these terms, the focus changes. And now the disorder or illness can be seen for what it is, which is just a single aspect of someone's life instead of a defining characteristic. And sure, I can understand why people might be hesitant to implement these changes, because change is hard. But in reality, the solution is simple, and the positive effects are profound. Imagine how much better the world would be if we could effectively provide treatment to even a fraction of the millions of people who need it. Large groups of people would know that they're not alone. Maybe depression and suicide rates would go down because people would no longer feel ashamed to seek help. Alternatively, I worry that if change does not happen and the stigma continues, only harm can be done. Comparing how things would be with ending the stigma versus not ending the stigma, the answer is clear. Mental health is important, and it affects every aspect of our lives. By speaking up, educating ourselves, and being mindful of our language, we can make a significant difference in these people's lives. By working together as a society, we can do this change. We can help end the stigma. So in the future, I hope to live in a society that is more accepting of the importance of mental wellness.